will essentially set up their own empire and become the arch enemies of Rome. John Hyrcanus, the son of Simon, dies in 104 BC. His son, Judah Aristobulus I, who rules for only 1 year, conquers the rest of Galilee and forces another mass conversion to Judaism, this time the Etrurians. Now, as I mentioned, he rules only a year. His brother, Alexander Janus I, continues to conquer areas of Palestine that have been lost to the Jews for centuries, since the destruction of the Solomonic Temple. He soon begins, the land is flourishing at this point in time under the descendants of the Maccabees. Sea trade begins to flourish, and the land thrives. Alexander Janus dies in 76 BC, but his wife, Salome Alexandria, becomes queen. She will now rule over a kingdom almost as large as that of King David and King Solomon 900 years before. The Hasmonean court of Queen Alexandria, Salome, is influenced by and bears the trappings of Hellenistic and Oriental royalty. For example, there's bureaucracy, there's courtiers, there's ministers, and a private bodyguard to protect the queen. The Council of Elders, which had receded somewhat in importance, is given the name the Sanhedrin. Now, the nature and origin of the early Sanhedrin is unclear. There are many conflicting accounts and a variety of theories. It's possible it was a single council with a number of committees, for example, priests, aristocrats, and sages. We don't really know for sure. Now, Queen Alexandria dies in 67 BC. Rome annexes Syria, and the kingdom of Judea now lays along the border of a massive Roman empire. Civil war among the Jews breaks out. The sons of Queen Alexandria fight for the throne. Hyrcanus II versus Aristobulus II. Now, this is where the Roman general Pompey the Great enters the picture. He goes to Syria. Remember, it's now a new Roman province. And he favors Hyrcanus II, which is the weaker of the two men. Hyrcanus will be more easily controlled by Rome. Aristobulus II prepares to defend Judea and fight the Romans. Jerusalem, and of course the sacred mount of the temple, is taken by the Romans after a 3-month-long siege. The Romans build ramps along the northwest sections of the Jerusalem walls. They position catapults, siege engines, and of course attack on the Sabbath. So thousands of Jews are slaughtered in battle, with Roman casualties being light. Aristobulus II now yields to General Pompey. The gates of Jerusalem are now open to the Romans and Hyrcanus. Now, the uncle of Aristobulus II, who, remember, was defending Jerusalem, his name is Absalom. Well, Absalom refuses to yield to Rome and holds out on the sacred mountain at the temple. The Roman forces, of course, overtake the temple. As they're coming in, priests are still conducting services, and these priests are slain at their posts. The Romans show no mercy. Pompey enters the darkened sanctuary, the interior of the temple, the holiest of holies, and of course the residence of the Lord God Yahweh. But the Roman general does not destroy the temple, and he leaves its treasures untouched. But Hasmonean kingship is removed from Judea, and Pompey shrinks the expense. He shrinks the expansion of the Jewish state. He breaks it up into two separate Roman provinces and lays the foundation of Roman organization in the east. Now, Hyrcanus II will retain, he maintains administration of Jerusalem, but it's a vassal state, and the policy of the Roman rulers is unequivocal. You listen to what Rome says or else. Now, Herod, the son of Antipater, the converted Edudeion, converted Eudemon, the country of the Edomites, from the country of the Edomites, will soon become the king of Judea by order of the Senate of Rome. Unrest and rebellion will flow through the land in the years that followed. The Herodian kings, the Herods, are not very popular with the Jewish people. Now, when the sleepy mountain city of Jerusalem brushed up against the mighty Hellenistic civilization of the Seleucid Empire, nothing was ever the same again. The Seleucids break their armies against the iron will of the Jewish people, and the Jews, like it or not, come underneath the umbrella of Hellenistic civilization. Pagan motifs, fertility symbols like fruit and grain, slowly become inscribed on the walls and slowly begin to decorate the floors of synagogues. Greek words would begin to enter Jewish consciousness. For example, the Talmud, while written in Aramaic and Hebrew, would also contain 3,000 Greek words. Elements of Greek culture become absorbed by the Jews. In this cultural confrontation and absorption, costumes, language, and technology come first. These are followed by patterns of thought and a new world view. For example, Homer and Euclid, the philosophers, the great Greek writers, begin to enter Jewish consciousness. The impact of the Greek echo on the Judean world essentially splinters the Jews into factions. They divide, they break up in order to confront this cultural Greek specter that invades their mountain world from across the sea. A new breed of religious teachers emerges with different views and different interpretations of Judaism. You have the Sadducees, you have the Pharisees, you have the Essenes. But the festival of Hanukkah, the festival of lights, remains as a celebration of victory over the attempt to impose cultural assimilation on the Jews, and as a commemoration of the miracle of the oil and the reconsecration, the rededication of the altar and the temple of Jerusalem. All right, with that thought, we're going to take another musical break. When we return, we're going to get into the holiday of Hanukkah itself, the Festival of Lights. We're going to get into some of the literary allusions found in the Bible, for example. We're going to get into the Talmud. We're going to get into the history, the rituals, the traditions, and, of course, the symbolic importance of this great Jewish holiday, Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. But first, some more music. These are the Bare Naked Ladies with a song called Hanukkah, O Hanukkah. Stay with us. This is God Rock Radio.